Dude, I started cutting it. Like I used to go right at my jawline, and then I watched this like how to be a man video. Not really, but that's the only way I can describe it. It was like tips on like man shit, you know? And the guy said, you take 2 fingers and put it at your jawline. That's where you need to shave. And I was like, what? And then he gave a bunch of examples why. I started doing it, and I noticed within like a week that my beard looked better. And I was like, son of a bitch, all these years I've been cutting my beard wrong. And it makes me look fatter with my beard cut the way I used to have it. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to SHOPcast. This is episode 78, and this week's movie was my pick, and oddly enough, I picked out Hereditary. So we're going to watch the trailer, and then we're going to jump into talking about the movie. So thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoy the podcast this week. It's been a weird week, so this will be an interesting conversation.
Come on, Peter. It's your suit.
It's heartening to see so many strange new faces here today. I know my mom would be very touched and probably a little suspicious. My mother was a very secretive and private woman. It's Grandma. You know you were her favorite, right? Even when you were a little baby, she wouldn't let me feed you because she needed to feed you. She was a very difficult woman, which maybe explains me.
I recognize you from your mother.
What?
Sometimes I swear I can feel them in the room. She isn't gone.
She had private rituals, private friends.
Who's gonna take care of me?
You don't think I'm gonna take care of you?
But when you die,
She wasn't altogether there. At the end.
I don't like this. Dad, I don't like this.
What's happening? Don't you ever raise your voice to me! I am your brother! Please stop! Mom, what's happening? Make it stop! Make it stop!
I just don't want to put any more stress on my family.
Well, that looks like a good movie.
We should watch that.
Looks scary.
So, I don't really know where to start with this. First and foremost, I am the only person that thought this. When that kid, every time he's on the screen, I just wanted to go, moly, moly, moly. But also, the young lady that... Told you I was the only person that thought this. The young lady...
Yeah,
the young lady in the movie, the one that plays the daughter, she's going to be at the local horror thing this coming summer, I believe.
Really?
The big one that happens once a year down here. It's like the horror pop-up we have every like 2 or 3 months, but once a year is a big one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she'll be there this year. So if you guys are interested in getting like your Blu-ray sign or anything, if you can't go, I am going. So let me know and I'll do what I can do to help. So
I'd be interested in going to that either way.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So far, the guest list is pretty cool. She's the only one I can remember off the top of my head because I was so shocked when I saw her face. I was like, oh, dude. I was like, it's that girl from Hereditary. So I don't know what anything else she's ever done. Has she done anything else? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I've seen.
Not to sound like insensitive, she's got a very memorable, like unique face. So I would feel like I would recognize her immediately if she was in anything else. But so that's kind of cool. So
I'd be interested in going to that as well.
Hereditary. Okay, I get the guys mixed up a lot. Who directed Hereditary?
Ari Aster.
It is Ari Aster. Okay, I get him and
Robert Eggers.
Eggers mixed up like almost every time I talk about him. So it's an Ari Aster film. Is it number 2 for him or 1?
First.
The first one. Okay. I see. Dude, both those guys came out at the same time with the same thing going on. It was really, really odd.
I think the Witch was first, I think, with Robert Eggers.
It was in the trailer. It said producer of The Witch
true.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he did The Witch, and then was it The Lighthouse?
Lighthouse.
Mhm.
And then it was Hereditary, and then Midsummer, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. So, look, regardless of my feelings on any of those 4 movies, without those 4 movies coming out when they did and kind of how they did, there's a lot of stuff that I wouldn't know about or be interested in. So I want to lead with that because there's a lot that I wouldn't care about if it wasn't for the fact that because I've seen all of those movies more than once. And so I don't know. I just wanted to point that out because I don't generally care for the A24 type movie, whatever you want to call it, the more highbrow, elevated horror, if you will. I hate that term.
Well, I definitely, I was gonna say I definitely don't think we would have had the conversations that we had in Scream without those particular movies. I think those 4 movies in particular have made.
Now that you mention it, Scream 5 wouldn't have been the same movie.
Probably not.
At least the dialogue would have changed, you know. At least the dialogue for sure would have been different. But so this movie is about a family. It's all centered around one family who they lose their matriarch, the grandmother. And wait, that's the right word, right? Matriarch. Yeah. Dude, patriarch's the guy, right? Yep. Dude, again, I get stuff mixed up. My own fault. Anyhow, they lose grandma, and it's basically weird shit starts happening. They lose her at the very beginning of the movie, and you got a family the movie's kind of quiet. It's just, I don't really know how to describe this, man. Can y'all help me give a synopsis of this that makes more sense? It's a family dealing with pain, but then the trickle down effect of losing someone that may not just be what you think of as the effects of losing a family member. It's supernatural, if that's the right word. It's
it's kind of hard to explain some of the plot points without spoiling the movie a little bit.
Oh, spoiler! This movie's old by now, dude. We can talk about the movie.
But yeah, I mean the family starts to just experience weird things after the grandmother dies, and I mean it slowly unravels that their lives are being controlled by this cult that the grandmother was a part of.
Isn't it so that they can take their body and live on? Is that what I gathered?
So they can bring back the demon payment.
Yeah. It's part of the title Hereditary is the fact that they're actually passing this demon through the family from
There's a lot of movies. If you pay attention to the title, you'll learn a lot about the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's about hereditary trauma too. The movie is about grief and mental health. But it's also about this is a demon, literally demon that's being passed down.
It was kind of like as far as the title connection's concerned, I know this is a terrible movie, but it reminded me of Malignant. only with that, because if you pay attention to what that title is, you're like, oh, it's really obvious what's going on.
I immediately thought that when you just said that a second ago.
Yeah. I was like, it took me a minute to say it because I didn't really want to, because my actual movie review on Hereditary aside, it's such a better movie than Malignant can ever. I'll bet there's people out there that would argue against that.
I'm sure some people would say that this is boring and Malignant was fun, but
I guess if you're looking at it from that vantage point, you know, that's a valid opinion. It's just an opinion, but like, so the movie is a slow burn. It is, man, I watched this at full alert. I didn't get remotely tired in it. I watched it at a really good time for me to watch a movie. I picked out when I was going to watch it with a lot of intent, and it was deliberate with what I was doing. And I'll be honest, I really expected to watch it and just sit here and shake my head and be like, I don't know what I was missing the first 3 times I watched it. But I didn't feel that way. I feel like everything that I feel about the movie was just reinforced. It was like little blips of like really interesting and cool stuff with filler the whole way through, and I don't understand. And I want explanation. I'm not going to talk about it much because I just don't care, man. I'm not trying to sit here and just shit all over the movie because I honestly was expecting to like it more than I did. So I'm a little kind of perturbed even that I don't understand what I'm missing out of it or something. But I don't understand how anybody could say that this is a brilliant movie. Like, I don't get it. It just doesn't strike it for me. And I feel like I'm just missing something. And I don't care to go deep diving in it as far as myself and like watch it 4 or 5 more times. No, but I would love to understand, like, what is it that I'm missing? Because nothing about it felt very original. Nothing felt very scary. The acting, the cinematography was awesome. Like, I liked watching the movie better than I did the last couple times because I was paying attention to that more this time. I watch movies different now than I did the first time I watched this movie. So it's part of why I was expecting to really come out of it with a different opinion. And so that being said, I don't want to just sit here and bag on a movie, especially since I know you guys like it so much. Explain to me what it is that you guys like about the movie so much, so maybe I can figure it out. I'm gonna rewatch this movie again at some point because I don't think it's a bad movie. That's not what I'm saying. Like, Malignant, actively bad. This movie, I just don't like it and don't understand all the praise it gets. Those are very different things, at least to me. At least to me, they are. You know, I can tell you that this movie is objectively well made, whereas the other one, I don't feel that way.
Did you check out the video that I sent you at all?
No, I didn't have time, man, and it's irritating because I wanted to. I'm still going to. So another reason why I don't want to say a whole bunch because I'm disappointed, man. I really was thinking I was gonna come out of this one with a different opinion. I was looking forward. That's why I picked it. I thought, okay, I'm finally gonna get this one and go fucking. I missed it because there was like glimpses of like stuff I really enjoy, and that's what I felt like it was. I felt like it was little peaks with giant valleys. That in the whole movie I was like waiting and waiting and waiting, and like maybe the last few minutes it got pretty exciting for me. But then the ending of the movie I thought was absolutely terrible. Like, I just didn't like the end of the movie. I'm not trying to actively shit on this movie and upset you guys. So,
well, I mean, we all have different, the things that scare us are different. Obviously, we've talked about that many times already.
Yeah, for sure.
I find The Witch really scary. I think I don't understand how you couldn't find this movie like super disturbing because I've seen it like 3 times, and I was watching it this time. And like, I almost wanted to turn it off just because there's certain parts of the movie that just like fuck with me so much.
Really? Like, yeah. Can you recall one that really bothered you?
I mean, the big one is the girl. I mean,
well, that's one of those peaks I was talking about. Like, that was cool because that's one of the only things in this whole movie that I personally feel is original. And I thought was like, oh, that caught me off guard. Because I remember when the first time I watched this movie, because that's pretty early on in the movie. It's like not early, but like it ain't halfway through.
35 minutes.
Yeah, it's like first third of the movie. I was like, oh man, this is about to be a banger. And then I was just like, oh. But I do feel that when I watched it the first time and maybe even the second time, I'm a very different person than I was then as far as how I look at movies. So
yeah.
This was a genuine pick for me. This wasn't some like trying to be a like underhanded shithead. No, I was just like really trying to. I expected to like it more. I expected to eat crow with all the shit I was talking to Chris last week. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to apologize for everything I said.
Well, I mean, I appreciate you, just challenging yourself to try something that you didn't really like.
Honestly, because of you guys, dude, I didn't used to even think this way about movies, man. I just watched what I wanted to watch, and if I didn't like, dude, do you think I would have ever done this with Aquaman, bro? No. Yeah. Still won't watch that hot garbage.
Well,
that's my pick this week.
I was gonna say I do have a pick this week.
Oh man, I would have to watch that crap too. It's probably way better than I give it credit for. I just was that one was whatever DC. Anyhow, I really did want to like. I guess that's the right word. I guess. I don't think the way you think. So when you say challenge yourself, I wasn't even thinking about it like that, but that's exactly what I was doing. I was trying to like. I've got a bunch of movies that I own that I don't really like, and I don't want to get rid of them. I feel like that's a cop out, and I only have stuff that I really like, and I'm only gonna watch something that I really like. I understand. Like me and Chris were talking about this not too long ago. That time is precious, man. Like we all have limited time. And I know you specifically, Josh, have a very small amount of time where you can just do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it says a lot about your character when you're willing to have two friends that you talk about movies with, and I'm willing to still own and view movies that I know upon first viewing, maybe even second, I didn't care for much, but that I can admit are objectively well made and give them another shot. I just feel like that says a lot about somebody because we've all done it. All three of us have watched movies that we were pretty sure we weren't going to enjoy, and we've had a various amount of different outcomes.
Yeah.
So I really was just trying to understand. And I do think that this movie, I do think I enjoyed it more now than I did. I think there's almost no way I didn't because I made it through it and I didn't really have negative stuff to say. It was more quizzical stuff. I was just like, I mean, I don't understand because it gets like, I think that's kind of where my issue is that I can admit that it's a good movie, but like they're saying that it's as good as some movies that it's just not as good at to me. Like from my perspective, so anyhow, yeah. So the girl having her head lopped off out of nowhere. I mean, that's pretty shocking.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like that was the only real.
Yeah. One of my scariest parts is after the son Peter like freaks out at school and like smashes his face on the desk, and they go home and it switches over to like a night scene, and it's a really slow scene. There's not a lot of stuff going on, but they just pan the camera up, and the mother has been possessed and is just like
up in the corner.
Like the very first, it's like very first time they show her. It's just like, oh fuck.
Okay, I will fully admit that is creepy. Only issue is that I've seen that in like 400 movies before Hereditary, and I'll see it in 400 more after Hereditary. So that's my point is that yeah, there was stuff that was done well, but it was not stuff I haven't seen before. And I hear that it's original, it's this, it's that, and I'm like, what? Like that kind of stuff is in a lot of movies. The girl getting her head lopped off was, but I mean, like the kid freaking out in school and doing like nuts shit. I've seen it. The possession things, seen it. I mean, shit, that's Exorcist. If you want to go that far back, it's but
sure.
So yeah, like, I think that's where my issue is. It's more so of why aren't people labeling this appropriately, and they're saying that it's some masterpiece. I mean, what am I missing about it that's making it a masterpiece? Because it's not originality. Because I don't think it's got much of that.
Well, yes, you can say that a lot of the scenes have been done before, but I mean, you can also say that about just about every movie that comes out. It's all in the execution. And
yeah, I rarely say a movie's original.
Yeah. There's very few things. I mean, something like The Lighthouse is pretty original.
True, very true.
There's a few things. Titane. That's an original, like a super original movie. There's
most original movies are pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have these little gems that are like they stick out because they're well made. Because originality, dude. That's why everything's repeated because it works. You find a whatever recipe and you stick with it.
But to me, this is taking a lot of cult horror, possession horror, and just doing something different with it. It's focusing on a family. It does. I mean, there's obviously a lot of comparisons to The Exorcist because that's doing a very similar thing.
Well, I just thought that one because that is an important movie in the genre, and I thought it has a lot in common with that. And again, I'm not trying to just shit on this, man, but like I don't see where it did any of it better. That's kind of my point. Is like I think that maybe with like the camera work, I watched a movie today where it was noticeable, like the difference in cinematography quality. I was like, oh man, this is a fun movie, but man, this guy was not very experienced in his craft yet. Like he's probably very young and not getting paid much. So whereas I understand that the cinematography is really good, but like I think that just falls with what I care about in movies because I think that's where you're like, yeah, it's better, it's done better, and I'm going, I guess, what's done better about it?
Well,
it's not more effective to me.
I don't even just mean that though. I mean just mean the execution in the story. Like it's the little details, the subtle things. Like the whole story is essentially this family that is predestined to this tragedy, and they don't know it. But like they even make a reference to it when he's sitting in the class in the beginning. He's talking about Socrates and like how, you know, like is it more tragic that he doesn't actually have a choice and he's predestined to this, or is it less tragic? And like that's the whole story of the movie.
Just opened my eyes to what the answer to my question is then, because I don't care about any of that. None of that makes a difference to me. It doesn't. I don't care about it. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm saying that doesn't make me like a movie better or not. You can have a movie that has none of that in it, and it doesn't matter to me because the little things aren't what I'm there for. Like that's definitely what specifically you, Josh, are there for in a lot of movies is like the detail work and there's a lot of things that you think about that don't cross my mind. Is what I'm trying to say. Like I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying we're very different with the way that we can sit down right next to each other and watch the same fucking movie and see something completely different. And I mean, that's the beauty of all this, really. I mean, Chris is the only one that overlaps with both of us considerably. And then even that, he's got his own opinion on, like, he goes way out with the sci-fi stuff, right? I don't even like to watch some of that sometimes. I'll watch it all at least once because you never know when you might find something worth just talking about forever. But, you know, that's where, do what?
It's like, you don't want to watch like 12 samurai movies in a row? That's what I've been doing.
I'll go with 11. I don't know if I can do 12. But
I mean, 6 or 7 at least.
Woo! No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't go that many. I switch up even my stuff a lot now that I'm thinking back on it. But like, I'm actually pretty satisfied with that answer. With that, I just don't care about the same things.
Yeah.
That the people that are talking about this movie care about. So like, I'm not going to say that either anybody you include are wrong about any of it, but I won't accept that I'm wrong either. I don't think either of us are wrong. I think this is a strict subjective statement type of scenario where you're only speaking of subjectives. Nothing about it is objective because you're talking about what matters to you and you only. I never said it was made bad, so that's, you know, I'm not a psychopath. Yeah. The movie is quite pretty to look at and the acting is superb. But I mean, I was bothered, man. I was really bothered because I really want to understand. Dude, I think that my future lies in being able to explain a movie right or a song right. So it's really important for me to be able to understand this stuff. Like, I've taken it more serious than maybe people understand. Like, I know you guys get it because you see how much work I'm putting in. But maybe some of the viewers won't understand why I care as much as I do about this particular situation. It's because I think my future is in this. Like, everything I do is to make this better and make me be able to explain a movie better and to review a movie better. Because if I can't see that stuff in a movie, I'm gonna have a hard time reviewing one more than 3 minutes. You know, how are you gonna be able to explain a movie really well if you're not understanding the movie? So
yeah, like I'd have been really surprised if you'd have came back and said, "Oh yeah, I love this movie now."
I didn't think I was gonna say that, but I was pretty convinced that I was gonna be like, all right.
Yeah,
not top 10, but excellent movie. And I just don't feel that way. I feel like it's well made, but I feel like I could pick up a stack of movies and I go, yeah, which one do you want to? I don't care. This one is Hereditary. Like the fact that it's in your top like 5 is what bothers me. Like, not really. I don't think about it when I'm not talking about it, but like, I'm like top fucking 10, man. That's crazy to me. But you know, again, this is what I said. It's subjective, dude. It's your list, man. You could have fucking, I don't care what, Doom with fucking Vin Diesel as your number 1 pick. What am I going to say? It's your pick, you know? Boy, I would give you a lot of shit if that was your number 1, though.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Wait,
pretty
was it
bad.
Doom with Vin Diesel? No.
That's
The
Rock.
The Rock's in it, yeah.
The Rock. Equally as bad.
Yeah.
Fucking interchangeable, man. Fast and Furious, guys.
But I was like we've been doing this long enough now, and we've been like close friends long enough now that we're all kind of, I think, learning, you know, what each other like. And like even 6 months ago or a year ago, and I said, "Oh, you don't like Hereditary? That's insane. How could you not like Hereditary?" But I'll watch. I'm like, there's no way you'd like this,
dude.
It's just not your type of movie.
I'm flying off the rails, bro. I'm falling into a deep, dark hole of ridiculousness, man. I can't get away from it. I'm trying, dude. I tried to crawl out of the hole, and all I did was climb into more hole. I don't know how it worked.
You're trying to dig your way out?
Do what?
You're trying to dig your way out of it?
Yeah, dude. My equilibrium was off. I was going down, not up. I was like, what's happening? But because like the more I watch, like I watched that Frankenstein's Army today, right? The movie we're talking about in the live stream. Who was on there? Was it you, Josh?
I was only on there for a minute.
Okay, well, we brought up a movie called Frankenstein's Army. So that guy, Aisle 8, he and I are very similar people.
Okay.
Even his little picture thing. Once I figured out what it was, I was cracking up, dude. I was laughing the whole day because it's a giant sperm monster, and I know exactly what it's from. And I go, "Oh, I have that movie," and he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's Chillerama." And so I had this movie, and he's like, "You're like the only person I've ever met that knows what this is." And I was like, "Aha, kindred spirits." I mean, he's like over in England or something, but like, wait, maybe he's not. Anyhow, I think he's overseas, but yeah. So I think I just, as I get older, I'm getting weirder, and it is what it is, man. You know, you're probably gonna fall further into like stuff that's A24 like, and you know, it's okay, man. I don't think I was okay with that a year or two ago, maybe 2 years ago. I'm more comfortable in my skin, as I'm also more comfortable. I think it comes with being a dad too, because I give up myself for my family, like all day. I do what I need to do to make sure they're okay and happy, and I have to eat crow, and I have to apologize for shit I didn't do wrong. I gotta make sure I fucking, you know, if I wake up because the kid's screaming in the morning, I don't get to go out and bitch about it. It is what it is. I'm lucky she's taking care of him in the morning for school, you know? So when you start to deal with that kind of stuff, you start to see other things different. And one of the things that I see different is like, I care about you guys. And so I want to understand what it is that you like. I don't necessarily have to agree. I just want to understand it. I'm a quizzical person. I always ask questions about stuff. I just want to get it. Once I get it, I'm cool with it, man. And I think I understand this movie a lot more. I definitely have a better appreciation for it, if that makes any difference. I have a much better appreciation for it because I understand that I really enjoyed watching the movie. I don't know if that makes sense, but like watching the camera movements and watching the stuff they did, like the angle where they come in from the little house that she's making, and then suddenly it's the inside. Yeah. I mean, that deserves credit to me. Like that, I appreciate it, and I like that kind of stuff. I guess it's subtleties that I just didn't catch, maybe, you know. I'm definitely going to watch it again at some point. Not anytime soon necessarily, but I'm glad I own it. I'm going to watch it again at some point. So you guys, how high is this on your list, Josh?
It's in my top 10.
That's what I thought. Chris, show me your top 10. I couldn't remember what was in it. Chris, it's really high in yours, though, right? It's like top 3 or something?
Yeah, I'm moving it into like my top 10 of all time.
Okay.
Like all time.
Man, my top 10 of all time, top 10 horror are so similar that I don't really differentiate them anymore.
Yeah, I've been trying to like hold back, like throwing out adjectives and stuff to describe it. But
tell me what you want to say, man. I don't give a shit.
I think this is a perfect movie. Like,
fuck, that is a bold move, though.
Like this,
it's all checkmate, Randall. I'm like, fuck, what did I do?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I think this is my third time watching it as well, and I can't find any flaws in it. Again, to me,
no. You want to hear something flabbergasting? I never said it wasn't a perfect movie. I just don't think it's groundbreaking or interesting.
Yeah,
I can't really argue with that, though. It's pretty fucking well made, man. Like, I mean, the score is really good, and that's weird that I could even. Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
And I appreciate that, because I think a lot of people just throw around like, oh, this shit was trash, or this band sucks, or that movie sucks. It's like, well, I mean, just because
only
something
Aquaman, sir.
I mean, but just because something sucks doesn't mean it's bad. And just because you don't like it, you know, it's two different things. I mean, you can. Dude,
if I could sit here with a straight face and tell you that I like movies that are bad, then how could I sit here and tell you that I don't like a movie that's good? That doesn't make any sense. Of course, I can do that. You have to have both. You can't just have one. It's just like all the kids that tell me, oh man, Lil Peep's music isn't bad because it helped me get through some things. Okay, well, if it helped you get through some things, you're telling me that there's no chance it helped get some kids into some things? What the fuck are we talking about? Of course it did. The pendulum swings both ways. And if you can't accept that, and you know, at 18, 21, 25, maybe even 30, I couldn't. Turning 40 in a few weeks, man. Yeah. My brain doesn't work the same as it used to. It's a lot different. So that was wild that when you said it, my brain was like, oh shit. Like, what's happening? We're in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, like I get talking shit on stuff's fun. And you know, there's definitely things that
I'm an antagonist.
That even I would like something's kind of getting popular and I don't want to like it. Or
that's,
I think
hey,
we all
right here.
have that.
Right here.
We all do.
Yeah. But the thing I would say to like the originality conversation is just I think this takes little pieces of a couple of different genres or movies or whatever and just puts them together in like a perfect little package. Like the first band to sound, the Beatles or freaking Black Sabbath or maybe not the like perfect. I don't.
Well, it's like the Clash. They're Clash. Without them, I wouldn't have Rancid. But I think Rancid.
Yeah. So they take little bits of all this stuff that kind of started and it just puts it together perfect with the cinematography and the way they tell the story, the way they like weave the story through and like slowly reveal the little things that have been kind of behind the scenes of the family throughout their entire life. I think all that just together just makes a perfect movie to me.
How do you feel about that, Josh?
I have small nitpicks, I think, in certain moments, but I don't think it's not like a 10 for me, but I think it is very close. And I agree. I think that's a good argument. It's taking the things that have been done in the past, the influences, and making something, maybe superior from it.
So, yeah, all I can think about right now is fucking Will Ferrell going, with all due respect, and remember, I'm saying, with all due respect, sincerely though, don't take this as a shit talk type thing, but like when you said that to me, the very first thing I thought of was like, nah, dude, I've seen this movie before though. Like, the cinematography may have been better, but the story was the fucking same. And so I want to go back and look at some other movies that I've seen. And because, I would say it's probably just as likely that I'm feeling that way, but it was 3 or 4 movies that I'm thinking of that all are very, very much interchangeable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even saying with concrete certainty that that's actually true. It's just the way that I felt when you said that. I thought, I don't know, man. I feel like I've seen this exact movie with the exact same fucking everything, because like, I think part of it was the actors that they chose. They look so familiar that I feel like I've seen them in the same movie. And I'm certain I haven't, but I feel like I have. Maybe it's because they did a great job. I don't know. But I sure felt like I was watching something that I'd seen elsewhere with like a slightly different thing. Or like, what's the husband's name in the movie? Not his fake name, but his actual, what's the actor's name?
Gabriel Byrne.
Is that his name? I feel like I see him.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
In tons of things. And so that might be it. It feels generic to me. I do not mean that disrespectfully. I don't have another word for it, but that's the word. That's the word that can encompass the feeling that I get. It just feels generic. Like I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, like The Witch. I didn't think it was scary at all, but it felt pretty original to me. Lighthouse, fucking incredibly original. This one just felt like it fit a mold, and I'm not saying it necessarily does. It felt like that to me. So I guess it all just depends on what is it that you're looking to get out of your experience when you're watching a particular movie. Because I also feel like there's probably people that are going to go, yeah, Psycho Goreman. I've seen that movie before. It was made in 1987 by this guy. It had this in it. And I'm going, I don't know. That's pretty fucking original. I think we could probably both be right about that. Speaking about Psycho Goreman, I do think there's a lot for me to still delve into with this movie, which I find kind of hilarious.
Well, I do think he is, Ari Aster is playing with the fact that it is like a very, on the outside, a very normal looking, everyday suburban family, but what's underneath that, like it's mom and dad and a son and a daughter. They look normal, like normal people. The daughter looks a little weird, but
Yeah.
But yeah, it's taking the average suburban family and showing you how fucked up that can really be.
Well, that was kind of what I meant, though, is that I feel like I've seen that exact movie, a regular suburban family, but once you get in the door of their home, you start learning about them. And you know what, dude? I read a lot too, man. I could have read a book that felt like this. I'm not necessarily sure where I'm pulling my memories from or my feelings. Again, I'm learning a lot about how I think watching whatever it is that we're watching. So, you know, I enjoyed this watch, even though I don't know how to word it, man. Because I don't think I can say
appreciate
I don't like the
it.
movie. Yeah, even though I didn't,
it.
you know, even though I'm appreciating the movie more than So I enjoyed this assignment or whatever you want to call it. You know, I had a good time doing it. I'm having a great time talking about it. I actually think this is probably one of the better conversations we've had, probably. Period. Really.
Yeah, it's a good conversation for sure.
You know, and I mean everything that I'm saying with legitimate respect to you guys and to the filmmakers and the actors and people involved in this movie. I mean, shit, it should say a lot about the movie that somebody that's not in this lane owns it and has watched it more than once. That should be a fucking, you know, something that they're proud of, because I generally go far the other direction and I watch stuff like Frankenstein's Army. Fucking awesome movie, by the way.
It's all about what works for you. This is just really effective to me. That's what it comes down to in the end. Is it effective? And
I think part of it is I don't get scared very easily with movies, so like it takes a lot for me to even go, yeah, it was scary.
Yeah,
like the movies that are scary to me are people go, what? Like even y'all said that. Like the fucking Midsummer was terrifying to me.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, because if you can creep me out during the day, you can creep me out anytime. Like
I think that's a creepy movie. But it's definitely got a disturbing factor similar to this, but this one is more affecting.
I'm glad I picked it, and I'm glad I watched it again. I got a different appreciation for it than I used to. I definitely would have said like antagonistic things about it, like I did with Chris at the theater. But I mean, that was
like 2 weeks ago.
You. But like in general, I would have said things like I would have gotten on a message board and been like, "No, fuck that trash." Like 2 weeks ago. Not necessarily meaning that I thought it was trash, but just to say antagonistic stuff. Like now, I probably wouldn't even get in the conversation because I don't think people would take what I said with how I mean it, and they would think I was saying something negative when I wasn't. And you guys, I can talk to, and y'all know me, so you know what I mean when I say something, and you know if I'm being sincere or not. And I think people on the internet assume you're always not being sincere, so they would take something that I said that meant maybe like a middle of the road type of comment and make it seem like I said something mean. So I wouldn't even comment on it now, which that also should say something about the movie. So, you know, credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
Is it actually a 10? You said it's a 10 out of 10, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, my score's pretty high, but 10 kind of surprises me. What do you think, Josh? You go 9.5 or 9?
9.5.
9.5.
I would like to know like what flaws you find in it. I think.
Who? Me?
Even if they're just minor gripes, I'm just curious because
I think the son. There's a couple of times his performance is a little off.
I thought that a little bit too. So
yeah,
doesn't bug me.
Yeah, it bugged me a couple of times, but that was like my only major thing. Watching it this time, there's a couple of times when I don't know. I know, and I don't know if you watched the video I sent, but they talk about it. He was in character the entire shoot of the movie. Like he did like a Daniel Day-Lewis thing where they didn't meet him till the end of the movie.
Oh,
yeah,
that's exhausting.
Sounds exhausting.
Yeah. I think he acted the movie very well, but
yes,
there definitely are a time or two where he kind of like.
Yeah, just for a minute, and then he pulls out of it. I think for the most part, he's fantastic. But
yeah,
man, I don't want to be like negative about it, but what do you guys think about? I guess I don't have to ask Chris. You really love this movie to a point where there's not very many imperfections. But how'd you feel about the like light thing being evident when something was going on? I like chuckled when that happened. Like audibly, I thought it was incredibly corny.
No, I mean, I didn't.
In a movie that I thought was supposed to have a very serious tone, I thought that was a weird choice. That's what I thought about it. That's a weird choice. And then like the sleepwalking thing, I thought was a little weird, like a odd choice. And then maybe there's reasons they did it. That's why I'm asking. Like, is there reasons why those were the choices they made for that being the way that they presented that? with the light thing. I didn't really understand why that was in the movie. I thought that took me out of the movie. It like distracted me is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely used as like a, like, you know, the possession is happening, you know, whatever you want to call it.
Just a representation of the demon that is present.
Yeah, I felt like they should have used like an audible representation, like a maybe like a high pitched ding or something like that, so that you kind of knew it, but you knew that it was just the director telling you that, and not something that you see that I felt like they could see as well. And that's what I'm trying to get at, is that I felt like in a movie that was so grounded, because even if this movie isn't real, right, I felt like it could be until that happened. Again, very much nitpicking, dude. I'm not. This is no. It's just like, okay, if I had to critique it, that's what I would say about it.
Well, let me ask you: do you guys think that if you had seen this movie without knowing anything about it, the first time you watch it, that you would think that maybe some of this was happening in their head? Like it may not be happening at all.
This is where I don't feel like I'm very good at this, because I would have thought that.
I did watch this for the first time knowing absolutely nothing about it.
Okay.
I didn't watch a trailer. I don't necessarily remember why. I think I just kept seeing stuff about it. And
I watched the trailer, but I didn't have any real information or knowledge on the movie.
You watched Midsummer before you saw this, right? Didn't
Me?
you see that first? Yeah.
No,
Chris?
I saw this first.
Okay. All right. I thought you had seen Midsummer first.
I can't remember which one I watched first.
Yeah, I think I just started hearing a lot about it and went, I'm in the mood for a horror movie. It was on Amazon, I think, at the time. So I just threw it on. Didn't even really think much about it. Just I was scrolling through Amazon and went, I'm going to watch this now. Click.
Like that, what you just said really is the kind of thing that frustrates the hell out of me. Not you saying it, but like that I don't know how to get there. I don't know how to get to that process. I don't even have a clue how to get to that.
I wish I could do that more. I hardly ever do that.
Well, I feel like
every now and then something just compels me to, because like I'll spend freaking an hour just scrolling through Netflix and
we've all
Amazon,
done that, I'm sure.
Looking at and never actually watch anything.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like I need to just go, watching that.
Well, no, I mean like when Josh is watching a movie, I feel like while watching it, he's able to like pause what he's thinking and go, okay, but what about this being a possibility? Because I'm so wrapped up in what's going on right in front of me that I can't even think of another scenario. And then when the movie's over with, honestly, dude, I don't think about it much. That's where Josh and I go way the other direction.
Yeah.
Like I walk out of the theater and I'm like, all right, that was cool. On to dinner. And Josh is like, fuck, what did that director make? What else did he direct? And what are the actors in? And why'd they do this? And what's up with the script? And, I don't even like the score. I don't even go there. So I think I watch a movie, almost any movie, for enjoyment and entertainment only. I don't want politics in my shit. I don't need to hear about Black History Month. I don't need to hear about any kind of like movement of any kind. I've watched plenty of those movies. If I'm in the mood for that kind of movie, I'll watch it. But like, I don't need to go to see Black Christmas. Excuse me, I almost said Black Friday. Black Christmas, and then have a fucking, public service announcement in my fucking movie, dude. So like, I want. Look at what I really love. I mean, look, Psycho Gourmet. It's popcorn and fucking, I get it. I understand that's what it is. It's still not easy to make the damn movie, but I get that's what they're going for. Manborg. That's the shit I love, dude. Like Terrifier. It's not supposed to make you think. Like that's not what I'm in a movie theater for. And I think that's kind of what you go to some movies for, at least sometimes.
That's the great thing about movies, though. They're not one thing.
Yeah.
They're a million different things.
Very true.
And not all of them are going to be for everybody.
Yeah. I never gave my grade on this one. I was, from the moment I sat down, I was thinking 8.5. I think I'm sticking with 8.5.
That's good. That's higher than I thought you would say. But
when I sat down to watch it, I think I had it at like a 7.5. And I was like, all right, I'm going to start right in the middle of like 5 and 10 because I think it is earned that based just solely on the fact that I know it's not a fucking shit movie. And so then I'm watching it and it just kept creeping up. There's a few things that bug me enough to, because a 9, dude, I don't have very many movies that are 9s, dude. Most of them are 8.5. That's where really good movies go to me. So 8.5, I think is really, really solid. I think it's a great movie. It's well made. I do want to revisit it at some point in the future.
Yeah. My
Chris blew my
favorite.
mind with that shit. Boy said it's in my top 10 of all time, bitch.
Yeah. I kind of redid my Letterboxd today, and
I'm terrified of redoing my top 10s because it's gonna be fucked up.
But that's most of my favorite movies are movies that that sit with me after the theater. That I can enjoy freaking Psycho Gorman and just ridiculous, awesome, mindless violence or just silly stuff or whatever it is. But
no, I actively don't want movies sitting with me after the theater. It's not what I'm in there for.
Yeah,
that's my point. Is when a movie sits with me after the theater, like Joker, it bothered me, dude. I got depressed for the whole day.
Yeah,
I don't want that, man. I don't need that shit. That is not entertaining to me.
Those are
my
all...
Joker Steelbook is still unopened.
Those are all my favorite movies.
Yeah, they are. You bastard.
Yeah,
He's like, speaking of my pick this week, you seen Joker? Oh no! I'd watched it a long time. I want to watch it again at some point. Every time I get to it, I'm like, I don't have the strength to watch this today. I'll watch it later. Like that one really affected me in a way, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one for sure.
Yeah,
but one of the things that I rewatched this week was There Will Be Blood, and that movie just that to me is a perfect movie.
So,
and it sits with me.
I like that movie. I think that's where I am is I can appreciate those movies. I want to own them. I know they're good movies and I will watch them at some point, but very seldomly. And it's got to be there's about 30 movies that's the issue, is that there's about 30 movies that fall into that category and they're really, really good movies. And I know they're great movies, but I can only watch one at a time. And it's rare that I want to watch a movie like that. So when I do, I got to be really careful what I'm picking. And then it takes me 2 hours to pick the damn movie. So I'm like, should have watched Psycho Gorman while I was figuring this out. But yeah, I definitely, There Will Be Blood is a, I don't like the movie, but I like the movie. It's, if that makes any sense. But
I wanted to rewatch that recently too, because I liked it the first time I watched it. I think I've only seen it once.
Well, the reason I picked Hereditary is I knew I needed to rewatch it, but I knew if I left it up to just picking that movie on a Thursday or a Tuesday or whatever, that I would never get around to it. And I was like, okay, they know I don't really like it a lot. They're not going to make me sit through it again. So I was like, if I don't put this in as my pick, I'm never going to get around to rewatch it. And I need to rewatch it. Like for my own, as a horror fan, I owe it to them to watch that movie again. So I take my fandom pretty seriously, man. I'm not a chump, dude. I fuck with this stuff pretty heavy. So,
well, shoot, we just spent a whole hour talking about it. So
yeah. Oh shit, it's been almost an hour. Well, what's your pick for this week, Josh?
Hellraiser 2.
Oh fuck yes.
It's on Prime.
I don't care. I got it on Blu-ray. Just got it in 2 days ago.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, they're doing. Really? Yeah, it's on Prime right now. I just watched the first one for the first time on October, and
well, you opened my eyes to that one. That's another movie that I didn't like a lot. Which is again, I think, dude. I think you can draw a line somehow back to Hellraiser being the reason I picked Hereditary, because you were like, yeah, I don't see how you didn't really like it. It's very gory. I was like, what? I remembered it being so boring. So I rewatched it at the shop on VHS and was like, oh no, I just keep remembering the first half of the movie. I don't remember the second half. Because the second half goes right into the number 2 really easy for me. So I just start thinking of it, and all I'm thinking of is the number 2 movie, which I think part of what I'm remembering is actually number 1, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to watch number 2 again. It's been a while since I watched that one, and I've watched one fairly recently.
Nice. Yeah, I've only seen 1. I've never seen 2.
Okay, cool. They're doing 3 at Alamo pretty soon, I think. So
next weekend is The Hills Have Eyes OG version. So
yeah, I know. I've never seen that
I
either.
put an alarm to get my ticket in the morning. So if you guys don't have tickets, you should get them soon, because I went and checked, and half of them are already gone.
Okay, I'll go to that one for sure. I've never seen it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm a little interested in what you might think, because it's not what you're expecting. I can tell you that much.
Early Wes Craven, right?
Yes.
70s, isn't it?
I'm sorry?
Isn't it the 70s?
I think so.
Yes, late 70s, like 78, 79, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like right after Last House on the Left type of thing. pretty
yes.
soon after that.
Yeah, real soon after. You know what I really get tired of is people that watch the remakes and then they go watch the original and then tell me the originals suck. I hear that so frequent, and I'm like, well, hold on. Yeah, you have to look at it like, what am I watching? The originals don't suck. They're different eras, man. It's like telling me that you listen to some fucking, I don't know, whatever current rock and roll is good, but you think Elvis just sucks because his stuff was like, it wasn't as heavy. You're like, well, no, of course it wasn't as heavy. It came out in the 60s and 50s.
But I thought you said the Clash sucks.
No, the Beatles, sir. The Beatles suck.
Oh, gotcha.
Man, I fucking hate the Beatles. I've tried to listen to them even recently, and I just can't figure it out, man. I think I'm just not smart enough for that.
Well, people love them enough to watch a 9-hour documentary about them.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, I heard that's really good.
There's a 9-hour documentary on the Beatles.
Yeah,
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson, he restored all this footage from the making of their last album.
Of course, it was Peter Jackson that did that.
Yeah,
Psycho.
And it's 3 parts. They're all like 2.5 hours long.
Where's it at? Oh, you know what?
On
I
Disney
saw
Plus.
a clip about this, and I thought, damn, this looks like it was recorded yesterday. So it's just
it looks amazing. I've only watched the first episode.
Look, dude, I mean, I like their music, but they're definitely interesting people. I would watch that before I'd listen to an album.
Well, I mean, even I was getting a little bored, to be honest, because it's literally it's not really a documentary. It's just like watching these guys behind the scenes. It's just a behind the scenes movie.
It feels like the Juice WRLD documentary. That's exactly what I try to tell people. It's not a documentary. It's just film footage of him doing his thing.
Okay, I didn't see that, but
it's exactly what you just described. It's just him doing his thing.
It is really cool to see like a bunch of songs that I've heard 100 times and see them like they're sitting there figuring them out. Like, oh wow, that's amazing.
I even have to concede that that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because the Beatles, while I don't like them as a whole, they definitely have a handful of songs that I think are great. I mean, didn't they write Dream On?
No, that's Aerosmith. Isn't that Aerosmith?
No, Come Together. Sorry.
Yeah, Come Together.
Fucking Dream On, dude. I said that with confidence too. And it was definitely not the right song. That's amazing. It's definitely Come Together. Why did I think it was Dream? I don't know. Who cares? I don't actually get embarrassed by shit like that because I'm too old to be embarrassed by shit like that. But cool, man. Hellraiser 2. Man, that is not what I thought you were going to say. Dude, I was fully expecting you to say There Will Be Blood. And I was going to go, fuck, all that shit I just talked.
Really? I mean, I just rewatched it, so I wouldn't.
Oh, recently?
That,
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I misunderstood what you were saying. But no, I expected something a little more, I don't know. Hellraiser's awesome.
I know you like it. It sounds like Chris has never seen it. I've never seen it.
Yeah. Hellraiser is one of those things that, like, for a long time, I liked the design and the look of it and the aesthetics more than the execution. I think I'm just getting older, and I'm becoming more of a fan of the craft of making movies than I used to be. Like, I didn't used to care about that so much. Like, I liked it. It was fun. I wrote a book that I thought could have been a cool idea for a TV show or something, you know? But, like, I never really cared about that. Like, I didn't even know that the director didn't actually use the camera until we met. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, and some people might go, oh, that's ridiculous. How'd you not know that? Because I didn't care. Like, I never thought about it. And then whenever it became, something that I realized, I think you told me, and I was like, what? And I was like, that. And then I was like, oh, it makes so much sense. Because I've seen photographs that I didn't feel like made much sense to me, but I was like, whatever, I don't know. It's none of my business. I don't really care. And then when you told me that, I was like, oh, 36 photographs that I've seen now make a lot more sense because it's this guy here and this guy over here. He's holding the camera, but this guy's the director. I get it now. Yeah. But
then you suddenly realize it takes like 30, 40, 50, 100 people to make these movies behind the scenes.
Oh, dude, it takes so many people that I've been aware of, because I've had friends that have done like some carpentry work, and they're like, yeah, there's so many people there that we have to feed. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, the craft services, it's like a whole entire fucking banquet hall. And I'm like, really? And because in my head I'm thinking like, I don't know, dude, a couple carpenters, director, and this guy, and I'm thinking like 10 or 12 actors and then some extras. He's like, shit, just the extras, dude. It's like hundreds of people. I'm like, fuck, that's a lot of food, you know. In some movies, not all movies, but like some movies, it could be a lot of people, you know. Think of it like a zombie flick, dude. That's a lot of just fucking taking care of folks.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
What else did y'all watch this week? You said you watched
I watched There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood. Oh, that's right. That's what. Why did I think you were going to say that movie? That you just said you just watched it. You watch anything else this week, Chris?
Yeah, I've been watching the Lone Wolf and Cub movies of the thing I've been going through lately.
Oh, is that what you were watching? That you said all those samurai movies?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, some are more ridiculous than others, but there's one or two I think you would like because like it just gets like this silly blood spray and
I've seen a little bit of that, but I couldn't recall exactly what I've seen of that. So I would have to just watch it all and go, oh, it was this much what I saw.
Yeah, number 4, the bad guy or girl is like a topless samurai assassin. So
let's go.
All her sword fights are all topless.
You know, I've only seen the first one, but I might skip right to 4.
Right?
Four's pretty good.
Well, I watched, and I should start writing this stuff down because I watched probably 15 movies this week.
Wow.
And I can't even tell you which ones they were. But I watched one called Do What?
That's why Letterboxd is cool.
You might be right. I'll never know. You know what's funny is that's when I think about that is I'm like, fuck, I should just start using that app. But then I just never do it.
You have to remember to do it. So
that is a fact, sir. Instead, I'm in my car making fucking videos with Bricken singing Kesha songs.
yeah.
Oh, that's so much fun. Dude, Chris, you see that skeleton kitty that I drew?
Yeah.
Dude, so many people want that on a shirt. I've had a lot of messages about that.
It's
drawing.
cool. I woke up this morning. I was still in bed. I looked at that. I was like, what is that fool doing?
Did you see the little ladybug that I drew?
Yeah, he's got a cigarette.
Yeah, smoking a cigarette, and it has a little bubble that says, "Don't forget your switchblade knife." It's the Ladybug Thug. It's Skeleton Kitty, Ladybug Thug, and the Mustachio Pistachio. With a deadly trio from In My Brain.
Yes.
Yeah, I did pretty much the same thing this morning, but
Yeah, it was like 3:30 in
tired
the morning when I sent that. I was like, okay, I'm finally going to bed. Hey guys, wake up to this.
Yeah, that was funny though.
Well, I enjoyed the conversation, fellas.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to this movie this week. I guess I'll talk to you a few more times before ultimately I hope we get to hang out this weekend. But this weekend is going to be a really good card. If you have the time to catch the fights, you should check them out. I didn't realize how many fucking bangers are on next weekend's card, dude. That card is awesome.
Yeah.
The one in Houston, like I didn't realize Derek Lewis was on it, but Brunson's fighting Cannoneer on that card. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, good fight.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. So everybody else, thank you for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I hope you get something from our talks, man. We ain't going nowhere, so if you don't, I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe you should go watch Hereditary and leave me alone. But yeah, have a good night. Peace.
Yeah.